So, part two of the Desmos, we were on question number 2. So we are going to start on question number 2. So, given the values of 3, 6, and 9, 12. So I'm looking at this, and I'm given a value of x and y, given your order pairs, and I have your x, comma, y. I can translate this to a table, x comma y, alphabetical order, and the first order pair is 3 comma 6, and the second order pair is 9 comma 12. So we have your 3 comma 6, and then we have your 9 comma 12. So this also, you can go ahead and input it into Desmos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you right here how to input this problem to get all features of this two order pairs. We're going to be able to figure out how to get slope. We're going to figure out how to get in x-intercepts, which is your 0. And we're going to figure out how to get y-intercept. So you have your basic table. How do we get our Desmos table? All we do is click on the plus sign right here. We click the table feature. And all you do is input 3. Click here. We can already see that the line is going to be red because Desmos feels like doing red. So the line is going to be red. And then I'm going to do 12. So the next step is to go ahead and push the little leaf. And looking at this equation, we already have under linear regression, we already have our y equals 1x plus 3. So automatically I do get my slope. My slope is 1 because it is a letter, it's a number next to the letter. If I want to find x-intercept, all I do is scroll right here, check what x-intercept is. Well, my x-intercept, or my 0, is negative 3 comma 0. What is my y-intercept? All I have to do is scroll all the way up here. Where does it cross my y-axis? And my y-axis is 0 comma 3. So I have my x-intercept and I have my y-intercept and slope by just knowing those 2 points. So going based on this, I already know that y equals to 1x plus 3. I'm going to underline my slope. My slope is 1. My y-intercept, I don't know what my y-intercept is. Well, it is 3 right here, my y-intercept. But if you don't believe me, all you have to do is find out where it crosses the y-axis, which is the one going up and down. You hover over it, and it is 0 comma 3, or 3. The next question is, what is my x-intercept, or 0? So I'm just going to hover. My x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. And my x-axis right there is negative 3 comma 0. So that is my x-intercept, negative 3 comma 0. If I want my 0 to be negative 3, that is the same exact thing as writing negative 3 comma 0. It's just an order pair where it passes the x-axis, where the order pair crosses. But if they ask for the 0, what is my 0? I can also put negative 3. And that was also asked on the STAR test. So given a point where we used to do the y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, no longer do you have to do that. Now you can just put it in Desmos and let the Desmos do all the work for you. So that is how simple some of these equations become. So that is just a little brief overview on our linear. If it's a linear, it is a line. Now going to quadratics, we have quadratic equations. We're going to talk a little bit about vertex, even with Desmos. And one of the things before I jump into our quadratic, the equation that we did, let's say we have an equation y equals 3x. Let me go back. Let me delete it. Y equals 3x plus 6. We already know the line, we already know our x-intercepts, we already know our y-intercepts. But if you look at this equation, it's y equals 3x plus 3. is it okay to not put the y and just put 3x plus 6? If I do 3x plus 6, it's the same exact thing. I take off the purple and I only have the black. There's my line. I take off the black and I put the purple. It's the same exact line. I put them on top of each other. There, it's the same exact line. So whether you put the y equals or the 3x plus 6, it is the same exact thing. So you'll get the same exact equation. I just wanted to let you know that it will be the same thing. So can I find a vertex of a quadratic? You know that a quadratic is a U shape. It goes up and it goes down. Well, not even knowing the concept of quadratic, I can submit this right here. I can just input this into Desmos and I can find my vertex. I can find my axis of symmetry. I can find my x-intercept, my 0, and I can find the y-intercept without even covering quadratics, but really just by inputting it on the calculator. And I can even find out whether it's a minimum or a maximum. So I'm going to go ahead and input this on Desmos, and I'm going to put y equals to x, and how do I get the square right here? Plus 6x plus 5. And I have my vertex, I have my axis of symmetry, I have my x-intercept, which is also called my 0, and I have my y-intercept. So I'm going to go ahead and enlarge it so we can discuss all those features, and I'm going to go ahead and shrink it so you can see your U-shape. And you're going to see the U-shape right there. You see the big value, every single value that's there. So a couple of items that we are going to discuss. We're going to discuss our vertex. Our vertex is the bottom point. So I'm going to look for my bottom point, and it gives me the vertex. I don't even have to do any work. The vertex is given to you. That is the very, very bottom. Now you think of the bottom as the U-shape going up. You see the vertex at the very, 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 very bottom. So that is called a minimum. So you have a minimum, which is a vertex of -3, -4. Now, if you were doing a mountain and the vertex was at the very, very top, then that would be called a maximum. But for this one, we are seeing that the minimum, which is a vertex, is -3, -4. Now, if I asked you, well, what is my zeros? What is my x-intercepts? How many x-intercepts does this quadratic have? Well, the x-intercepts, there's 2 of them. Look at where my red U-shape passes the x-axis. It passes my x-axis right there at -1, 0. It also passes my x-axis at -5, 0. So this one crosses the x-axis at -1, 0 and -5, 0. Automatically, without even knowing anything, I already know just by knowing the concept of x-intercept that it does have 2 x-intercepts, it does have 2 zeros, and it is -5 and -1, or -5, 0 and -1, 0. And who does the work? Desmos does everything. Well, Mr. Ocaña, what is my y-intercept? Well, all I have to do is find my y-axis, which is this one, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to take these away so I won't get confused. And my y-axis, my y-intercept is 0, 5. Desmos did everything for you. So I have my y-intercept as 0, 5. I have my x-intercepts as being -1, 0 and -5, 0. Then I have my vertex at the very bottom, which is -3, -4. Now, I also want to find my axis of symmetry, and I'm going to teach you an easy way how to find the axis of symmetry. And that is the line that cuts the U-shape in half. That is your axis of symmetry. You have a cookie, you cut it in half. That's my symmetry line. I have a circle, I cut it in half. That's my symmetry line. The U-shape also has a symmetry line. And looking at this, my symmetry line is always, if it's a U-shape going up or a U-shape coming down, it is always my x value is my axis of symmetry of the vertex. So what is my x value on the vertex? My x value of the vertex right there is -3. So my axis of symmetry is -3. If you draw an imaginary line going up, and I will be teaching you this in a different lesson where we're going to do a little bit of more practice, my imaginary line going up is -3 comma -3. So it passes by -3, which is about right here. I don't know if you see it, but it's about right there. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and identify everything from this quadratic. We have our vertex. All we have to do is click on the vertex, and it is -3 comma 4. And I'm going to clean this up so then it can look nice. I'm going to erase it. So my first question is, what is my vertex? Well, it's right there given to you. Desmos did all the work for you. -3 comma -4. Question is it a minimum or maximum? Is it on the floor? Is it way up in the mountain? Well, it's on the floor, and it's called a minimum. Next is my axis of symmetry. And the key word when you have a U shape going up or a mountain coming down, you always circle this X. So then that way, axis X is X equals to. And the way you say it is axis of symmetry. If it's a U shape or a shape and then going down, my axis will always cross through the x-axis, and of course it is the x value of the vertex. The x value of the vertex is -3, which is also x value is -3 on the top one. Then I find my x-intercept for my 0. This one has two x-intercepts. It's got one right here, and it's got one right here. Everybody see the two x-intercepts? It's got a lot of points, but I want to find only my x-intercepts where it crosses my x-axis. One right there, one right there. So my x-intercept is -1, comma 0, and -5, comma 0. Or I can say my x-intercepts or my zeros are -5 and -1. It means the same thing practically. And then I want to find my y-intercept. Where does this U-shape cross my y-axis? Desmos does it for you. I can get rid of those. And the y-intercept is 0, comma 5. Without doing much of anything other than knowing how to input the equation. If I want to input it without the y, it's okay to input it without the y. If I want to do two U-shapes on the same graph, I can do two U-shapes on the same graph. If I don't want to use this equation and I want to get on to my next one, which is even more complicated, but it's as easy as learning how to input, then I can leave it there. Let's say I want to check back on it and see what happened, if it translated, if it rotated, if it churned. All I have to do is unclick it, and there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and input this. I'm not going to put y equals, even though you can. I'm just going to put open parentheses, x plus 3, close parentheses, open parentheses, x minus 2, close parentheses. Now, does it hurt to put the y in front of it? No, it doesn't hurt to put the y in front of it. So on this question, we're going to be asking what is a vertex, whether it's a minimum or a maximum. Number 2, what is the axis of symmetry? Number 3, what is the x-intercept? 1, 2, or none? And what is a y-intercept? So I already graphed it. So now I'm dealing with this graph. I want to take the keyboard out. I want to look at all the features of my U-shape. I'm going to go all the way down to the very bottom, and you're going to click on it, and that is my vertex, -0.5, comma -6.25. If I want to find my y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis, all I have to do is where it crosses, it's 0, comma -6. I want to find my x-intercept, which is my zeros. I can go ahead and unclick this one, and I can click right there. And I could click right there. This one has two zeros. It has a -3, comma 0, and it's got a 2, comma 0. If I want to find anything else, I want to find my axis of symmetry. All I do is go down to the vertex, and it is -0.5. So that will give me my x value. Let's say I want to compare this graph. I can click on there. If I don't want to compare it, I unclick, or I can unclick and click. You can play around with it. You can put as many graphs as you want. So I'm going to really take a look at this one. First of all, the question at hand. What is my vertex? So I am going to shrink it, and it's going to be, what is my vertex? So all I have to do is hover over it. If I want to enlarge it, I want to shrink it, I want to make it bigger, I can. I go to the very bottom, and that right there is my vertex. My vertex is -0.5, comma, -6.25. Now, question, is this a minimum or a maximum? It is a minimum. Why? Because it's a minimum. It's at the bottom of the U shape. It's not a mountain. It's at the very bottom. You think of the floor, and that's the minimum. Now, the key word to find x is it's a U shape going up or an n coming down. It is an x value. So I'm going to circle the x, and I'm going to say x equals to the x value of the vertex because it cuts it in half. My x value of the vertex is right here, and the x value of the vertex is negative 0.5. And what is my x-intercept, which is my 0? I'm going to come over here. I'm going to find out, it's got two zeros. I want to look at bigger. It's one's right there. I can click on it to 0. And one's right there. I can click on it, negative 3, 0. So I have my two zeros. I have 1, which is a negative 3, 0. And I have my second one as being 2, 0. And is it okay to just put negative 3 and 2? Of course it is, because that is it is called a 0. So I can put this like this, or I can put it in ordered pair form like that. Last is my y-intercept. I'm going to find out where it crosses my y-axis. Where does this line cross my y-axis? And always it will stick right here. If I can't see it, I can enlarge it. I can shrink it. I can make it bigger. There it is. And then I'm going to click on it. I can click a couple of times. My y-intercept is 0, negative 6. So there it is again. Very quickly, we went over quadratics, just a basic understanding of how to do the quadratics, just basic quadratics in y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, or not even ax squared plus bx plus c, because you would have the FOIL method and you would do the FOIL method. And there's also strategies and techniques on how to do that in regards to some of the STAR questions that we are going to be going over in a future video. And last, I am going to teach you how to do, and I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of this. Last, I'm going to teach you how to do exponential functions. And this one will be very brief, because if you look at that, what makes that an exponential function? What makes it an exponential function is this small little x on top. So anytime you deal with something like this, that is with a little x, it's called an exponential function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph this, and I don't have to put any plus signs. All I have to do is input it straight into Desmos. So I'm going to get my keyboard out, and I'm going to put y equals 2. And then I got that small little x. How do I get that small little x? I'm not just going to put an x here because it doesn't work. So I'm going to go back, and I want to get the little exponent x. Well, it's not going to be a square because that's a quadratic. I want that little x, so then I would do a raised to the b because it raises any power you want. Then it puts a little tiny little thing above. And what do I want on the very top? I want my x. So that is my graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this graph and I'm going to discuss. The only thing that I am going to go over is what is my y-intercept and what does my exponential graph look like. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to look at it and I'm going to find it. Sometimes you don't know where it is and you got to find the graph. It is in green. I want to take it off. I can take it off and I can put it back on. This right here is my exponential graph. So what it makes an exponent, it goes down to a certain area, which it approaches, I believe it's an x value, some type of it approaches some type of y value, and it's got some kind of limit, which is called an asymptote. It also passes through the y-intercept, and it keeps on going up, upward. So the only thing that I'm going to show you how to do is just graphing it, number one, and finding the y-intercept. Well, what is my y-intercept? Where does it cross my y-axis? All I have to do, click on it. My y-intercept is 0, 1. So right here, it's just a matter of learning how to graph it. But even if I want to find what is my y-intercept, well, my y-intercept, again, 0, 1. And this is called an exponential graph. If we look at number 2, I want to be able to graph this one and find my y-intercept. So what am I going to do? Do I need to put this y right here? No, I don't have to put the y right here. So let's say I just want to graph this. So all I have to do is put it on the second one, and all I do is get my keyboard out, and I put 3 raised to the x. I don't know how to do the x, so I go to a to the b, like that. It raises it, and then I'm going to put an x, like that. So it gives me my second graph, but then I say, Mr. Okani, I forgot how to do the second graph. How do I take it out? Well, I don't have to delete it. I can just uncolor it right there, and there has my graph. What is my y-intercept here? All I have to do is click it, and it is 0, 1. Do I have the same one? Yes. So my y-intercept is 0, 1. Do I know how to graph it? Yes, it is right there. That's called an exponential graph because it keeps on going all the way up in an exponential form. So I hope that this brief course of Desmos, part 1, part 2, has really helped you learn a little bit about algebra, learning the basics of linear equations, how to graph them, learning the basics of functions, learning the basics of order of operations, learning how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, learning how to deal with square roots, learning how to raise powers, learning how to do the square, and learning the basic graphing and just basic information on x-intercepts, y-intercepts, and of course functions and everything that goes along with that. I will be releasing additional videos to get everyone ready for our STAR assessment coming up in December 9th or around that time. I'm going to be releasing videos that will give you some test prep to go over basic facts, to learn, to make sure that you're able to master how to conduct linear equations, how to input functions, how to do order of operations, how to solve equations, and just a vast variety of algebra. But just by looking at the Desmos, looking at just knowing the Desmos or your TI navigator, but our class uses Desmos. Just by learning the basic functions, the calculator does all the work for you. What would have taken me 15 to 20 days to teach, uh, I taught it in under 1 hour. Just the basic functions of the calculator. So I hope this video has helped you. Uh, I will be releasing additional Desmos prep videos, and I will be releasing additional STAR practice videos to support our class and to support any student in the state of Texas or any student in algebra to help you achieve those high expectations and those skills in Algebra 1. Thank you for your time and hope this video has helped everyone. Have an amazing day.